Empaths are known for their good-natured nature and their tendency to help those who are in need. This makes them an attractive target for a narcissist, who is often in search of someone who will validate their stories and feed their ego. When an empath listens sympathetically to a narcissist's carefully crafted stories, they may feel sorry for them and view them as a victim. This can lead to the empath opening up to the narcissist about their own innermost thoughts and feelings. Unfortunately, this information can be used against the empath by the narcissist, who is only interested in furthering their own agenda. It's important for empaths to be aware of the potential for manipulation and exploitation when interacting with a narcissist. While it is natural for them to want to help others, it's important to protect their own well-being and to avoid getting caught up in a manipulative dynamic. Unfortunately, a lot of sensitive people give in to narcissism and manipulation. As a result of their low self-esteem, empaths are more vulnerable to falling for a narcissist, experiencing gaslighting, and ultimately being dependent on their partner. However, the manipulations of narcissists have no effect on super empaths apparently. This is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Even though they share some characteristics with traditional empaths, researchers have yet to settle on a term to describe this subset of empaths. In this video, this type of individual will be referred to as a super empath. Suppose you are an empath and you suspect that a narcissist is influencing you. In that case, you should watch today's fantastic psychology video because it reveals how and why a powerful empath may shatter a narcissist's ego. Stay until the finish of the video so you won't miss the important part. Before we get to that though, let's talk about what makes a super empath tick and how you can turn your own special brand of empathy into a strength. Characteristics of a super empath are profoundly impacted by their surroundings and the emotions of those in their immediate vicinity. Subdued, highly perceptive, and easily manipulated in close relationships. Being unable to separate from others for no apparent reason emotionally. Integrity, first and foremost, honesty and transparency. On the other hand, the super empath doesn't accept the generalization that all empaths are credulous and readily swayed. Their honesty, self-awareness, and appreciation for themselves are inspiring in their humility. Narcissists feel degraded when their own cruel, cold insults are turned against them. A lot of highly sensitive people just don't care. Super empaths can outwit and outsmart even the most deceitful and self-absorbed narcissists because of their superior confidence. It is possible that narcissists are experts at attracting sympathetic people who will trust them. The narcissist's finest efforts to convince others of their false narcissist are useless against an empath who knows them at their very heart. Remember though that not everyone with NPT do you any harm. It doesn't mean they'll attack if you ignore them, but it is risky business. Narcissists get a rush off of any form of response, favourable or bad, and thus taking vengeance or being compelled to prove them wrong will just provide a more narcissistic supply. If you can, avoid interacting with them altogether. It's helpful to have many individuals around who are aware of the situation and can lend their support when things go rough. This is extremely important in the event that narcissists try to isolate you from your support system by spreading lies about you. The people who care about you need to be ready to misunderstand your comments or spread rumors about you, so prepare them accordingly. If you take this situation lightly, it could go badly. It's possible they're thinking some very nefarious things. If you're ready to employ empathy to defeat narcissists, let's start. First, super empaths can spot manipulations with their intuition. In everyday life, super empaths rarely get the recognition they deserve. Because of their pleasant nature and tendency to trust too easily, They may come across as naive, dumb, or defenseless. In a word, yes, empaths have a tendency to believe lies because they are always looking for the best in others. Since they let their defenses down from the outset, they could be dangerous when dealing with a narcissist. They have a higher level of intuition than individuals with lower empathy, allowing them to notice new patterns before they get entrenched. Super empaths may feel skeptical of malicious behavior because it goes against their nature. Something is obviously wrong in their eyes. Narcissists may maintain their facades for a long time and try to leave their connections dependent on them quickly, and the empath is virtually as naive as you might expect. It may take some time before they realize the narcissist is lying to earn your affection. A powerful empath, however, will see through any chinks in the armor. Second, they usually know who they are and are confident. Persons with a high level of empathy tend to have a lofty opinion of themselves. With such a vague concept, it's natural that appreciating the worth of a solid sense of self can take some time. This article provides such an example. Narcissists typically use gaslighting as a manipulative tactic because it allows them to manipulate others with relative ease. The first time the term was used in reference to a married pair was in the 1944 film of the same name. The woman loses sight of who she is and begins to question her sanity. The husband kept telling his hallucinatory wife she was crazy and turned down the gaslighting. She will go insane at some point. How may the wife's faith in the fantastic movie have aided her in real life? But if she had a sound sense of self-worth and confidence in her own identity, do you think she would have assumed she was hallucinating? She would have given it some thought, tallied the number of times in her life she hallucinated, concluded that the number was 0, and then yelled at her husband to fix the lights, certain that he was the crazy one for not noticing the problem. A healthy super empath will never doubt their own worth or identity, no matter how many people try to tell them they're wrong or crazy. Instead, they might successfully drive the narcissist crazy, making them a very desirable prize. Due to their self-confidence and generosity, they are in a prime position to give others the praise they crave. However, they are also impossible to attain. Third, super empaths always remember details. Narcissists, to put it simply, are obsessed with themselves. People with this characteristic frequently assume they are the only ones who are forgetting things. In a word, yes. As a group, narcissists have the propensity to ignore details that could prove pivotal. However, narcissists have a hard time accepting compliments, which is a major flaw in their character. You can brag all you want about your accomplishments, but they will either be ignored or minimized. Even completely forgetting the person is possible in some cases. Instead, they keep a running mental tally of all the ways reality falls short of their ideal. In contrast, an empath listens intently and exhibits genuine concern when a narcissist is emotionally vulnerable, regardless of how skewed the narcissist's tale may be. And they remember everything, both good and bad. A narcissist may try to emotionally blackmail you by pointing out your flaws and shortcomings, but they probably won't get important details right, like your name. However, super empaths will remember every single thing that the narcissist has ever said to them. They know exactly what to say to the narcissist to keep the upper hand and make them feel terrible. It's easy to embarrass a narcissist. Super empaths will go out of their way to assist others, yet they despise the opportunity to cause pain to others. Fourth, super empaths are smart and efficient. Opponents of narcissists are typically both extremely sympathetic and familiar with the narcissist's genuine vulnerabilities from prior contacts, in contrast to the narcissist, who has considerable issues with effective empathy but can still summon some cognitive empathy. They are also attuned to the time when they start to lose their customary poise. It's not common for an empath, let alone a super empath, to abuse their ability to feel other people's emotions for personal gain. However, since narcissists lack this narcissist, it's the only thing that might stop them in their tracks when they're about to lose it from repressed rage or guilt. 5. Super empaths are naive. It is well known that empaths and super empaths are naive and innocent, leading others to believe they will be easy to get along with. Pray for the narcissist as much as you are able to. Whether or not the empath deserves to be destroyed by the narcissist probably enters the relationship with the intention of destroying the empath. Yet, when abused, empaths feel a deep sense of resentment. They are kind and friendly and tolerant until they have been wronged. In that case, they won't be discouraged from seeing justice done, even if it means using the same methods they did. After all, their most sensitive teachers instilled in them the value of honesty, not the ones to sugarcoat things. They have no interest in playing the narcissist's games and don't mince words. When a narcissist threatens their reputation, super empaths are the first to spill the goods. Although empaths take the narcissist's shame and guilt to heart, they will nonetheless look for ways to diminish the narcissist's influence wherever possible. This concludes today's video. Share your views and opinions on the matter in the comment section below. Could an empath drive a narcissist to their knees? And before you leave, please click the like button, subscribe, and activate notifications to ensure you never miss one of our narcissist videos in the future. Please browse our Narcissist playlist for further videos of a similar nature. Have a nice day. People with narcissistic tendencies often view themselves as deserving of the best and can be self-absorbed, often disregarding the feelings and needs of others. As relationships with narcissistic individuals progress, they tend to become more and more focused on themselves, often leaving their partners feeling unfulfilled and drained. No matter how much one gives, it may never be enough for a narcissistic person. They may continue to exhibit haughty or arrogant behavior even after the end of a relationship, whether due to infidelity, incompatibility, or other reasons. A narcissist may not be affected greatly by a breakup since they are too focused on themselves to recognize the absence of their partner. However, it's entirely different if you're a first-tier supply. This is often difficult and perplexing, and can leave one feeling used and abandoned. It's crucial to recognize that the behavior of people who tend toward narcissism is frequently motivated by deep-seated insecurities and emotional wounds. Since this is the case, it can be tough for individuals to develop meaningful connections with others. Narcissists may seem uncaring, but that's not the case, right? The real meat of the question of what drives narcissists has been reached. In the following video, I will explain what they are and how they function, because mastering their language and understanding their priorities will enable you to communicate with them and win their trust and cooperation. You need to be prepared with this information before talking to them. Before we begin, please understand how much I appreciate your consistent support of my station. You are more than welcome to join us if you just tuned in. Subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Alright, let's proceed. Together, we can end this destructive pattern. I'll teach you how to assert yourself among narcissists, so you don't have to spend all your time defending yourself. I hope you'll see that the concerns and issues of narcissists are valid and should be taken into account. A narcissist's top 4 concerns are discussed in this video. Today, I will unveil the narcissist's darkest and most profound secret. Narcissists care only about themselves, putting their own interests and needs before everyone else's. Anything that makes them feel better about themselves could serve as a source of motivation. Therefore, they seek the necessities of life, including food, blood, oxygen, and currency. They appear to be completely focused on that one goal. Recently, there has been a trend among this group to think that relying on a third-party token is the only way to increase one's sense of self-worth. They are looking to you to fill the chasm, or black hole, in their souls. They're looking for someone or something to hate in order to fill the gaping hole in their lives. They haven't stopped being hungry, but you've run out of non-food-related energy. Narcissistic supply, on the other hand, is abundant. Therefore, I will be talking about it in this post. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get straight to the point. Narcissists care only about themselves and their own needs. Whether you're dealing with them as a business partner, a family member, or in some other position, you can never know how they'll feel about you. In the end, dealing with such a person is almost like dealing with someone who is in continual survival mode, or with someone who wants to care about you but can't because they are too focused on their own pain or issue. Presently, they are unable to do so due to a number of factors. This is why they now lack the emotional capacity to empathize with others. Each person is treated as the center of their attention. They only care about what you can give. As long as you're still there to lend a hand, there'll remain something meaningful to you. They're like an empty jar on a shelf, waiting to be filled with anything you have to offer. If there isn't much left to use, they'll pick through what's left, eating what they can before moving on to easier pickings. With regards to the second, I am referring to their belongings and possessions, and you know what. There will be no more fumbling around in the dark with their possessions. In other words, they are completely self-centered, hoarding useless goods in their attics. This group of folks is a bunch of packrats. Put simply, they are very worried about supply problems. They anticipate that the resources will be depleted over time, so they intend to make the most of what they have now. Having this attitude is not consistent with a life filled with plenty. So, they'll take all they can get their hands on until there's nothing left, and then they'll move on to another source. They placed a high value on authoritative roles in their society. They rule an enormous area that is roughly the size of a small country. Just to be clear, I'm referring to the extremely well-off here. They construct these enormous kingdoms and guard them with all their might, but they rarely venture beyond their borders because they put forth so much effort to create and retain kings, because many of them secretly long to rule over their own creations. They bring disgrace to humanity by using their position to exert dominance over others and gain wealth and influence. In a debate, a narcissist will try to bring the conflict down to an individual level. The way they are acting right now is typical of them. The experience has colored their opinion of humankind negatively. Maintaining control over people who report to them is their only priority. They are preoccupied with how the general population perceives them. The narcissist is extremely concerned with their image and would do anything to protect it. That is of the highest importance to them. Narcissists care deeply about how others, especially their most ardent supporters, see them and how they view themselves. They put a lot of thought into their appearance. To be deemed successful, one must associate with powerful individuals, drive flashy cars, and work for a well-known organization. These are the pillars upon which a narcissist builds their self-image. So, have you found this video entertaining? If you enjoy this video, please share your ideas by leaving a comment, clicking the like button, and subscribing to the channel. You'd be notified of upcoming releases by subscribing today and clicking the bell icon. We appreciate your time in seeing this.